We are on Keilim Perek Bed, Mishnah Vav, 6th Mishnah in the 2nd chapter of Masechet Keilim. Gistura. Talking about Keilim that are vessels that are made of cheres, of earthenware, that are not Makabel Tuma. So Gistura is a shever kli cheres. It's a shard. And we said normally that a shard, if it can hold a minimum amount, a minimum quantity of whatever, if it holds a minimum quantity of liquid, then it's still considered a kli. But this gistura, nimtzeit b'kivshan, it's found in the kiln, and you want to know what's that? It's broke. Did it break before the kiln was fired, i.e., before the clay became a vessel, or after? Because if it broke before the actual kli, the actual vessel was formed, then the gistura was never a kli. It was just a shard, and it's not makabel tuma. But so that's what the Mishnah says. Gistura shenim seid b'kivshan. If you find this gistura, this shard, in the oven, ad shelo nigmara melachto tahora. Right? If it broke ad shelo until before nigmara melachto was completed, its work was completed, then it's tahora, it's pure. But mish nigmara melachta tamea. If it broke after nigmara melachta, after it was a kli, then it's tamea, then it's makabel tuma. Why? Okay, we don't even nishbar kodem shenitzraf b'kivshan. Was it before it was forged? And when it was completed, i.e., when it hardened into a vessel, lo torat kli alav. Okay, then it didn't have what's called torat kli. It wasn't called a kli. V'tu lo mitamei mishum gistra. It can't be a gistra, or maybe it happened afterwards. And Bartunur gives the whole thing. You could look at the shard and see where, did it form first? And you probably can. You can see did it form first or did it break first. Titros. So a titros is a kind of a strainer, a kind of a sprinkler. Okay, look at the Bartanura. Kli shu menukav milamata nekavim harbe dakim. Okay, it had many holes on the bottom. We'll see a picture of it in a second. Kimelo nekev machat, the size of a needle. Ulamala nekev achad kulo kush. Okay, and above it had a hole the size of a kush. Hainu pelach shanashim tavod bo. It's like the needle the women tavot, the need, no, that they spin with. Okay, when you fill it with water, when you fill it with water and you stick your finger on it, so then the water doesn't come out because of the pressure. This is all made of cheres. And I think the idea was, like nowadays you have like a faucet, it sprinkles, we need sprinkling, but if you wanted to sprinkle the water on something, you wanted to sprinkle water, you didn't want to go like this, you wanted to sprinkle it evenly. So they had this very ingenious idea. You would hold the water pressure, you'd fill it up from the bottom, and you'd hold your finger on it, and then you'd let it go, and the water would drip out. Okay? Nothing came out of the bottom. And when you took off your finger, then the water came out. So now, is that a kli or not? Rabbi Lezer mitaher. That's what it says. It's not a kli. Rabbi Yossi mitameh. Rabbi Yossi is mitameh. Mibnei shu kimotzi prutot. Because it's as if you're taking motzi prutot, little by little, okay? Now, the question is, we're going to see later on in the next parak, there's something called kones mashke. Is when a vessel gets a hole in it, what size is the hole? If the hole is big enough that water can come in, then it's no longer a kli. Sorry, what good is a cup if it's dripping? But if it's not kones mashke, then you can still use it, because you can, I don't know, even if it's a crack, but it's dripping, so we would throw it away. But they would keep their cracked vessels as long as the water doesn't pour out. So the question is this kli, is this titrus, is that kones mashke or not? Meaning the tiny little holes, can the water come in through it or not? That's a machloket, and we'll leave it up to you. Well, I won't leave it up to you to decide. I have no idea what the halacha will follow. I have no idea. Halacha ki Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yossi says, no, it is a kli. Yes, it is a kli, and it's makabel tuma. We'll stop here. Dedicate our learning to memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Make it a great day.